first ever Rizal monument in Daet, Camarines Norte, with the theme Rizal, Bayani ng Pagbabago, Bayani ng Bagong 𝐿𝐴𝐚𝐿. And once again, magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Medyo kinakabahan na yata yung ating mga contestants. Medyo relax na tayo, may short program na po konti. Anyway,
welcome to our rhetorical contest for junior high school student grade 7 to grade 10. Nakakatawa naman.
Every year, ginagawa po ng Museo Bulawan ito. So ngayon, since it's in memory of our national hero Jose Rizal, gagawin po namin ito since si Jose Rizal po mismo ay orator nung time niya. At ginagawa din namin ito ng Vincent's Day, di ba? Di mo maalala kasi hindi ko pa employee nung... Anyway, yun, so ginagawa namin siya every, siguro, Vincent's Day. Meron din kaming pagdating naman ng buwan ng wika, nakatagalog naman. And since ang theme ngayon ay English, so English yung magiging piyesa ng bawat contestant na kakalahok dito sa ating kompetisyon. Ako nga pala si Noli Villa II, that's si...
And ako naman si 𝐂𝐨𝐧𝐭𝐞𝐬𝐭. And we would like to thank the following provincial government of Camarines Norte, led by Governor Ricardo R. Padilla and Vice Governor Joseph B. Ascusio.
The Department of Education,
Provincial Administrator Don Eduardo Padilla,
Library Services Division, ito pong ating venue na laging napapahiram sa atin. Kay Ma'am Ami and kay Sir Jun, maraming salamat po. Siyempre kay Sir Abel.
and Provincial Tourism Operations Office.
Sa atin naman, decorations po yun from Provincial Tourism. At siyempre, Museo Bulawan po, kasama po namin ang mga staffs ng Museo Bulawan para po sa pag-hold at pag-conduct ng event na ito. Before we begin the competition proper, we'd like to invite you to please stand and observe the following invocation to be led by Miss Maria S. Castillo. The Philippine National Anthem to be led by Miss 𝐂𝐨𝐧𝐭𝐞𝐬𝐭.
And Camarines Norte Hymn to be led by Miss Jasmine Joy C. Punsala.
Let us pray po. Let us feel the presence of the Lord. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Lord God, thank you for this day that we safely arrived. We humbly ask your blessing and guidance on this program. May it proceed smoothly, achieving its purpose with grace. Grant each participants with wisdom and understanding. Also grant them with clear words, a strong voice, and a heart full of truth. May this time together be a source of inspiration and strength. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Miss Felicidad. before we continue, pagkinig ko lang, meron din pong mural painting competition na alam ko marami lang entries na nagpasa ng kanilang mga entries. Alam ko madideadline yun. So by January po yung magiging judging or result. So ito po ay serye ng mga activities at competition na pinangungunahan po ng Museo Bulawan. Noong December 4 naman po, nagkanda kami ng extemporaneous speaking para naman po sa mga guro. So meron yata ng ilang ba sumalit, 6 yata. So nakikita ko si Sir. Ngayon coach naman siya. Parang last time siya yung contestant. And this time coach naman. Anyway, this time for our opening remarks, we'd like to, or welcome message, we would like to call on Mr. 𝐂𝐨𝐬𝐿, our museum curator.
Magandang hapon po. Thank you very much. So we are doing this in celebration of our holiday, no? On December 30, because it's a nationwide holiday in observance of the Martyrdom of 𝐂𝐨𝐳𝐭𝐞𝐬𝐭, Rizal, and that is going to be the 128th anniversary. And we have been doing this for like I think 30 years, no? Or 29 naman, no? 29 na. So just my age, no? We have been doing this for 29 years, no? Now. And the whole idea for this activity is to constantly reintroduce Rizal, no? To a lot of our young people, because apparently Rizal is losing, or Rizalism is losing its glamour, no? Among our TikTok generation, no? Among our Facebook generation, no? That's why we in the provincial government would like to revisit and rethink the immense significance of 𝐂𝐨𝐳𝐭𝐸 for all of us, no? And in the midst of the frenzy for the Yuletide season, because Christmas tide is just around the corner, we are now in the third Sunday of Advent, third week of Advent. We have been splintered, no, in terms of our attention, and we are less focused on the more important things, no, because of the trend for commercialism for Christmas or materialism, no? And it should not in any way absorb us, no? As learned or as thinking individuals, we should be, I think, more attentive to more valuable, to more noble things, no? That is why this is quite timely, because in the midst of our rush for the celebration of Christmas, we have an outstanding, a lamp post or a guide post that serves as the beacon of light, and that is 𝐂𝐨𝐳𝐭𝐸, no? Kaya nga, we are doing this, of course, among students and of course among teachers also. As mentioned earlier, recently we had a competition among teachers, no, on 𝐂𝐨𝐳𝐭𝐸, no? And before I proceed, no, let me extend the greetings also to the representative of the Honorable Vice Governor Joseph Escucha, who's being represented here by no less than Sir 𝐿𝐴𝐴𝐿. Palakpakan po natin. Kala ko nakataksido si Sir 𝐿𝐴𝐴𝐿. Ako nakalimutan ko yung Amerikano ko. Anyway. You see, there is a book written by a former executive director of the National Historical Institute, now at National Historical Commission of the Philippines. His He's a contemporary of mine, but he's from Ateneo. I'm from the other side of Ateneo. I will not tell you anymore my school, but its initial is UP, no? So, champion kami, no? Sa basketball, sa UAP. Palakpak si Ma'am doon. UP. Natalo na. Alam niyo po ba, in 80 years of University Athletic Association of the Philippines, 80 taon, 4 na beses lang natalo ang UP. Nakakahiya, pero nakakatuwa. Lagi kami talo because, well, there were several times that we were almost there, no? The gold medal, the gold. But the finals, lagi kami natatalo. Ateneo, natatalo ng Pasal, natatalo ng National University or UST, no? So, you know, after many years, no, the crown of UAAP is back in Diliman, as they say. No? Anyway, there's this writer, he used to teach also at UP. His name is 𝐴MBETO Campo. No? So, 𝐴MBETO Campo wrote a book. It was published in 1991 when he was like, what, 27 years old, something like that, or 25 years old. He published a book. It's entitled Rizal Without the Overcoat. No? Now, of course, it is a very popular book called from his daily columns in Philippine Daily Inquirer. And it was widely read by historians because for the first time, 𝐴MBETO Campo tried to undress Rizal. Because normally, we perceive Rizal as an ivory towerish individual whose achievements in life is something that is unsurpassable and cannot be achieved by ordinary mortals like ours. No? So, yung narating daw ni Jose Rizal is something that cannot be, you know, reached by other Filipinos. Na parang ganun. Why? Because he's being represented in all his monuments, in his overcoat, no, in a European garb, and with, you know, a majestic stance, no, on top of a pedestal. But then what did 𝐴MBETO Campo do was to undress. So Rizal without the overcoat. Why? Because 𝐴MBETO Campo was saying that Rizal, like anybody of us, is an ordinary creature, is an ordinary mortal. But what sets Rizal apart from all of us is that he consecrated everything that is inside him towards the altar of freedom of the Filipino. Si Rizal, pinararangalan natin hindi dahil siya ay extra talino, extra super talino, or si Jose Maria Panganiban, napakatalinong tao, genius. Sabi ni Rizal, wala pa akong nakilalang Pilipino na kasing tayog ng talino ni Jose Maria Panganiban. Sabi niya yan nung nag-eulogy siya nung namatay si Jose Maria Panganiban sa Barcelona. Not, well, we are honoring them not because they were super intelligent, super brilliant, but because they offered themselves as oblation to this nation, for this nation. Ganun po yan. Ganar. So, pinararangalan natin sila na hindi dahil, halimbawa, Wenceslao 𝐭𝐨𝐽. Pinararangalan natin si Wenceslao 𝐭𝐨𝐽, hindi dahil siya ay consistent honor student ng elementary, high school, college, top 3 in the bar exams. So, hindi dahil siya ay napakahusay at napakadalino ni Wenceslao 𝐭𝐨𝐽. So, ito, napakadalino niya. Bata pa lang, mahusay na siya. No? Valedictorian Elementary, ng high school, pagdating sa UP, sumikat pa ng gusto. President ng UP Student Council, siya ay editor-in-chief ng Philippine Collegian, magaling magsalita, magaling magsulat, napakahusay na bata. Pinararangalan ba natin dahil sa ganun siya? Hindi. Pinararangalan natin ang ating mga bayaning matatalino sa Camarines Norte, pati na si Jose Rizal, dahil inialay nila ang kanilang sarili para sa bayan. Yun yung, that's what sets them apart. That's the difference. That's the big difference, as they say in basketball. That's the big difference. That's the big margin. No? Yun ang malaking lamang. Ano gusto kong sabihin? Well, all these heroes are our models. They are our inspirations. But just like what 𝐴MBETO Campo has been saying, they're just like us. They joked, they laughed, they cried, they became sad, they failed. Rizal had aprovechado as a grade. Tres ang equivalent nun ngayon. No, hindi naman siya puro sobra saliente, hindi na siya flat one lahat eh. No? Eh, si Jose Maria Pangaliban, sobra saliente lahat sa Ateneo Municipal at saka sa Universidad de Santo Tomas, sa UST. Kung ilalagay mo sa transcript of records yung grades ni Jose Maria Pangaliban ng Mambulaw, eh para ka nag-ruler, uno lahat. Parang grade ni Ma'am Jo sa Rizal sa UP. Uno lahat. Parang ni ruler. No? Si Jose Rizal hindi. No? May siya, pasang-awa. Whoops! Sabit sa angkla. Tres. Kasi nung araw pa, ang grading system is aprovechado, notable, and then sobresaliente. No? So, pag tres ka, is aprovechado. Ganun yung grading system. Eh si Humapa, nandun sa taas. No? Now, well, I've been not saying all these things because we might mistake this extraordinary heroes to be extraordinary and beyond our nature. No, they had the same nature as ours. The only difference is that they knew how to offer themselves for this nation. And that's what they did. Huh? For instance, why are we honoring Ninoy Aquino? Not because Ninoy Aquino was an excellent student in Ateneo, in elementary and high school, and he became an extraordinary student in college, and one of the best writers of Philippine Free Press at the time was Ninoy Aquino because he was a journalist. Periodista siya, nagsusulat sa dyaryo. Not because of that, but because Ninoy Aquino offered himself for the freedom of the Filipino. So yun po, yun ang pinaka-importante. And in our generation, in our TikTok generation, in our Instagram generation, no? Still, these heroes, still Jose Rizal in particular, no? Has not been losing their appeal. They're still the shining star for us to look up to and try to measure up with and try to fashion ourselves on. Why? Because we are being demanded. We are being called for by our individual circumstance towards that kind or level of heroism. We might not be as, excellent as they had been when they were still alive, but at least we could somehow avoid the frenzy of the season and be more attentive to the more noble, to the more significant ones. Things that would somehow elevate the human spirits, the human values. And I think that's what Padre Florentino, if you're familiar with the name Padre Florentino, a character used by Rizal in his book El Filibusterismo. Rizal, when he was speaking among the youth, he used his character in his book, in his novel called El Filibusterismo. He used a character by the name of Padre Florentino in order to encourage the youth, encourage young people to dedicate themselves to the fatherland. Because Padre Florentino has been saying in El Filibusterismo, where are the youth who will consecrate their energies to the fatherland? Where are the youth who are full of idealism, who will use their strength and their intelligence for the sake of the fatherland? Nasaan ang mga kabataan na iaalay ang kanilang sarili para sa bayan? That has been, the challenge left by the legacy of Rizalism to all of us, both young and old. Nasaan na tayo na dapat nag-aalay ng ating sarili para sa bayan? In all dimensions of our lives, in all aspects of our existence. Maybe you are a guy there in the academe, a teacher or a professor or whatever, or a researcher, still you're being challenged by Padre Florentino to the pen of Jose Rizal that we have to offer ourselves by trying to subordinate our personalistic, our individualistic interest for the sake of a higher objective, of a higher end. And I think that's the essence of our celebration of the 128th Martyrdom anniversary of Jose Rizal. When we're saying Jose Rizal as this bayani ng pagbabago, bayani ng bagong kamote. Of course, I'd like to extend the greetings also of the Honorable Governor, Don Padilla, to the members of the Board of Judges, who will be introduced in due time later during the competition, to all the coaches, the contestants, no? Because I would say that you're all winners in your own right. The mere fact that you're able to memorize your piece, you're already a winner. And to all the staff of Library, Museum, and Cooperative Development Office, kami po ay nagpapasalamat sapagkat tayo, kakarampot man ang ating bilang, ay nagkakaisa para sa kapakanan ng pagbubuo ng maayos na Camarines Norte. Pagpalain po ng poong may kapal ang ating mga mabubuting hangarin at gawain. Maraming salamat po. Magandang hapon.
Thank you po, Sir Abel. Salamat sa nakaka-inspire messages.
And for another message, tawagin po natin si Sir J.M. Pasachempo, ang laging nasa Chempo. As a representative po para kay Vice Governor Joseph B. Escudero.
Akala ko si Francis ka na. Biro lang. Magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. Sa ating pong Museum Curator, Sir Abel 𝐿𝐵𝐚𝐿. Palagay ko, tumatawag sa iyo, tumatawag din sa akin kanina. Mapunta natin sa San Vicente. And also sa ating pong Board of Judges this afternoon, Ma'am Jo, at Ma'am Donna, at si Ma'am Manette. At sa mga host po natin, sa mga kalahok po natin this afternoon, syempre, kagaya po ng dati, palagi ako po itong nakakasama itong museum po natin sa kadahilanan ng ating pong Vice Governor and even Governor Don Padilla ay may mga prior commitment po ngayong araw, particularly sa bayan po ng San Vicente at Santa Elena, kung saan kaliwat kanan po ang ating pong activity ng provincial government para nga po sa ating pong mga kababayan. Anyway, 128th anniversary of Martyrdom of Rizal dito po sa bansang Pilipinas. Siyempre, kagaya po ng binabanggit ni Sir Abel 𝐿𝐵𝐚𝐿, sa mga kabataan po na dito ngayon, hindi bagat naiwan ang isang kataga noon ni Dr. Rizal na hanggang ngayon ay nasa puso, hindi ko lang sure pala, nasa isip po natin at sana'y maisa puso po natin na ang mga kabataan po ay pag-asa po ng ating bayan para po sa ating lahat. Darating po ang panahon, wala po kami dito, kayo mga kabataan na dito ngayon, kayo naman ang mamumuno sa ating pong bayan. Pero ngayon pa lamang po ay dapat minumulat na po tayong lahat na yung ating pong pagiging makabayan ay talagang hindi lamang na binabanggit po natin sa ganitong paraan, kundi nasa puso po natin. Bagamat hindi man tayo literal na sinasakop ng mga banyaga dito po sa ating bansa, pero ang tanong po sa inyo, kayo ba? Kumbinsido ba kayo na hindi na tayo nasasakop or ng kapwa rin natin namang Pilipino? Ito po yung palagay ko, no, na isa po sa mga mensahe na naisipaabot po ni Dr. Rizal na sa kabila po ng pabugwis ng kanyang buhay, hindi po dapat tayo sinasakop ng sino man. Kaya nga po sinasabi na ang bansang Pilipinas, after po ng ilang taon ay malaya tayo sa mga banyaga. Pero marami pa rin nagtatanong kung papaano talaga o ano po ba talaga ang tunay na kalayaan na dapat po nating maramdaman sa ating bayan, lalawigan at maging sa bansang Pilipinas. Konting trivia lamang. Alam niyo po ba bakit nasa piso si Dr. Jose Rizal? Oh, yan. Ang piso, mapamayaman, mapamahirap, meron ang Pilipino. Ito po yung basic unit na currency po natin sa Pilipinas, at kahit sino po sa atin merong piso sa bulsa. Sino walang piso sa bulsa? Wala nang piso? Nag-SRA ka na ata, kaya wala kang piso, ha? Sila ma'am. Oo, wala. Po? CNA lang. Ay, yung mga nanonood po sa amin, joke lang po yun, ha? Di pa nakakapasok. Opo, kaya po nilagay ito sa piso dahil nais po ng bawat ng ating pong bansang Pilipinas na kahit saan po makita po natin si Dr. Jose Rizal. Hindi po ito nilagay lamang sa piso dahil ito yung number 1. Hindi po ganon. Dahil nais po natin malaman na pag makikita natin si Dr. Jose Rizal, nagiging fresh yung pagiging makabayan ng ating pong bawat Pilipino dito po sa ating bansa. Kaya po nilagay ang si Dr. Jose Rizal sa piso. Sabi po ng mga historians yun. Hindi ko po yung sinabi. Dahil way back last year, parang trivia namin yan ni Vice Governor Joseph kung bakit nasa piso si Dr. Jose Rizal. At ako, naniniwala ako, bata man, matanda man, mayaman, mahirap, meron tayong piso at hindi lamang ito barya na atin pong binibili. Paalala po ito sa bawat isa po sa atin na dapat po tayo mamahalin po natin ang sarili pong bayan. Kagaya po ng ginawa ni Dr. Jose Rizal noong panahon, hindi man po dumanak ang dugo sa kanyang panahon ng pakikipaglaban, gumamit lamang ng pluma at papel. Marami pong kaparanganan upang ipakita po natin o ng bawat isa sa atin ang pagmamahal sa ating bayan, makapagbigay ng karangalan, makapagbigay ng kasiyahan, at kung ano pang kaparanganan ang nais po ninyong gawin. Malugod po itong tinatanggap ng bawat isa dahil nakikita po natin at kung ito po ang ating paraan lamang ng ating pong pagmamahal sa bayan, ay wala naman pong masama. Ang importante sa ngayon, sa kasalukuyan, hanggat maaari at sana'y huwag namang dumating na dumanak ang dugo para ipaglaban po natin ang bansang Pilipinas. Tama mali sa mga kabataan. Opo, yung gagawin po ninyo ngayon, doon pa man, binabanggit po ni Sir Abel 𝐿𝐵𝐿, pero ito, more than 30 years, yung dekada na po ang lumipas, ilang dekada na nakaraan, ito po yung ginagawa ng mga Pilipino pagdating sa mga contest, di ba? Wala pa po yung may mga modern ngayon, wala po yung mga modern contest ngayon para po sa mga ganitong gawain. Pero ang ating provincial government, almost 30 years po nilang ginagawa, hindi pa po tayo pinapanganak, ay ginagawa na po nila ito ng sa gayon, yung mga susunod pong henerasyon ng mga kabataan, kagaya po ninyo, o yung mga mas bata pa po sa inyo, malaman po nila na meron po talaga ganito po yung ating kultura noong panahon na binubuhay po natin hanggang ngayon, at paraan din po ito upang hindi po natin makalimutan kung ano po ba ang kasaysayan ng bansang Pilipinas. Muli po, on behalf po ni Vice Governor Joseph Escucha at Governor Dom Padilla, kasama po ni Congresswoman Rosemary Panotes, bumabati po sa inyo ng advance congratulations at good luck sa mga contestants po natin. Siyempre, thank you very much Museo Bulawan sa pag-invite po sa amin ngayong hapon po ito. Muli po, magandang araw po sa inyong lahat.
A hero sacrifices for the greater good. Throughout the history of our country, many heroes have lived and died tragically while fighting for our nation and its people. Although we have many heroes that sacrifice for our country, there is one who stands out the most. A man crowned as a national hero who fought without causing any casualties. A man in a tuxedo fighting with his intellect rather than his faith. A man that is well known and respected not only in our country but in others too. Pepe was a child who grew aware of his country's struggles at an early age and studied ophthalmology with the depth of trying to make his people see through things better. Traveling the world as he grew up, leaving incredible remarks with his literatures and artistic grace, but even more, he sparked his country's revolution and their thirst for freedom by unmasking the colonizers' brutality and corruption through words alone. I'm sure all of us here are familiar with his remarkable novels like 𝐂𝐨𝐵𝐿𝐿 and 𝐿𝐵𝐿𝐿. But They weren't just novels to entertain everyone. These pieces ignited the flames of our oppressed predecessors to fight for our motherland. To be honest, it's quite impressive for a man to make his fellow men defend his nation through writings. But despite his successful efforts to defend and protect our homeland, Rizal was met by an unfortunate event. �𝐭𝐨𝐽𝐜𝐚𝐥. These were his final words before being showered with bullets by the conquistadors. Despite this, it wasn't finished yet. It was just getting started. Rizal ignited the fuel that led to our forefathers defending the pride and dignity of our country. If it weren't for him, we'd be stuck here, not even getting a small taste of freedom. After this fateful event, General Emilio Aguinaldo set out an order to have one day off for us to commemorate and respect Rizal. And we, 𝐿𝐵𝐚𝐿, were the very first to celebrate this day to remember him. We were also fortunate to have his first monument built here in our province, which is still standing up to this day. But why us? Rizal made an impact to Filipinos and especially to us, 𝐿𝐵𝐚𝐿. Our forerunners were also moved by his writings as well as his martyrdom. They were inspired. In fact, we were the ones who first recognized and honored his efforts for our country. And that monument you see right around the corner, it was built to pay respect to the fallen hero. That is the magnitude of impact Rizal made to us 𝐿𝐵𝐚𝐿. But as decades pass, it seems like we have barely remembered him. The things he fought for seem to have gone with the wind. Justice, freedom, and equality have once again been lost. Did he fight against our oppressors only for us to be persecuted again by another country? Did he defend our freedom only for us to be discriminated by a nation more powerful than us? He struggled so much to give our country what it deserves, only for it to be lost once again. Defending one's freedom doesn't only require brute force. It also requires one's intellect. With the ongoing conflict between our country and China, as well as with everything happening around us, we shouldn't just sit and do nothing. We should be vigilant and defend both our country and its people. Like Rizal, we should stay resilient despite the oppression and keep on fighting for our nation. Let us remember, especially to you, my fellow youth, the legacy that he left for us, like his statement that the hope of the motherland is in our hands. It tells us that even under difficult circumstances, we should pick our way through, focus on our ambitions, and work hard for it. The question I ask today is whether or not we, for today's youth, have proven ourselves worthy of the gift left upon by our ancestors who spent their life fighting for the freedom we have right now. It's time that we think and act like Rizal. Let's make him and this province proud by giving it what it's worth. Let us do everything we can to make Rizal's words into reality. As I stand here today, I urge each one of you to do what is right. Let Rizal be our motivation in achieving our goals and dreams. I encourage the young ones, emulate his indisputable loyalty and love for the Philippines. His vision for our people's heritage as the faith and future of our beloved country rests upon them. We should develop within ourselves the same fervor our ancestors had. I will not give up, for I know that there are inherent geniuses that lies within each 𝐿𝐵𝐚𝐿. Everyone has a potential to be the pride of our province, even in our nation. And one thing we can do is cultivate and be inspired by the noteworthy contributions of Daet. Let's demonstrate working from the heart with no conceit, no pretension, and no facade. Let's open our minds, learn to love our own culture and art. Let's make ourselves better 𝐿𝐵𝐚𝐿 and citizens of this country and become the youth our national hero hopes us to be. Let him be a guide to us all to create a better province, a new and greater 𝐿𝐵𝐚𝐿. Pepe, a beam of hope for a better Camarines Norte.
Contestant number 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, honorable judges, distinguished guests, and fellow viewers of a better tomorrow, have a blessed day. The artist has one name stands above the rest. To envision a new dawn to the rising. It's not just for himself, but the entire nation. That man was Dr. Rizal. A hero, his bravery and intellect lit the paths to our independence. Today, we honor his legacy as we embrace the challenge of becoming heroes in our own ways. Every day that is who of God will be burdened with economies? Soft words and discourse are repeated for children. The spirit of Rizal lives on. Salt. This national hero is not merely a page in the annals of fire. He is a beacon, a compass for every newcomer and youth who dares to hope, dream, and work for a brighter future. Rizal, as a hero of change, brandished his battle with his sword through his words golden in honor and alphabet history. Who laid bare the festering for oppression, injustice, ignorance. Rizal is not confined to being just a writer. He is a revolutionary mind who believed in change through experience, through education, and enlightenment. He proved that the genuine heroism is not built through violence, but through courage to stand for truth and the welfare of others. Today, this life and legacy teaches us that the true justification starts with knowing ourselves, having the courage to stand and confront challenges, taking action to uplift others, and words of greater future. Dear people of 𝐂𝐨𝐧𝐭𝐞𝐬𝐭, as we stand in the 21st century, Rizal's call for change remains relevant. We are no longer fighting golden battles. We face modern battles like oppression, unequal access to education, environmental changes, and the need for inclusive development. As government we are used to resolve things. This call for battles echoes in the effort of resilient farmers, of Vincent, Santa Elena, Rizal, San Lorenzo, San Vicente, and Basque. In enterprising minds of our planet, in every fissure of Rizal, hardworking people, love, paragon of devotion in Kapalong, and every young student striving for a better life in the province. The spirit of solitude. Preserving the beauty of Calabas. the gold that glimmers in our mountains. We empower you with education and technology and build communities founded by compassion and unity. We answer Rizal's call. We too are architects of change. But let us not stop here. Rizal's dream is not for one person alone, but for every Filipino to be a catalyst of transformation. As counterfeits, let us rise to this challenge and equip ourselves with tools needed to lead change. Education, critical thinking, a sense of responsibility. Let's demand accountability from our leaders, while also becoming accountable citizens ourselves. It's about how do we embody results heroism in our lives? First, let us all walk in results itself, not just in thoughts, but through our actions. Second, let us empower the youth with education, just as Rizal envisioned. Moreover, honor our vibrant culture, protecting our home, and protect our natural resources. Let's also strive for a sustainable future. Furthermore, hold ourselves accountable. For example, the transformation starts within each part of them. That we, people of 𝐿𝐴𝐺, are tasked to carry this torch. As a representative, the new gen. Let us be Sarisal. Let us be the bayani of Akbar. Bayani ng Pamitan. I thank you all. And that Rizal's inspiration, be an inspiration to us all. Diyos kabalos sa mga Diyos.
Contestant number 3.
Rizal, a voice that echoes inspiring generations towards self-determination and freedom. Friends, countrymen, Filipinos. Well, speaking of Filipinos, let me ask you a simple question. Are you Filipino? Do you feel proud to be Filipino? Well then, let me remind you of something. I, we, and mine. We are gathered here not to mourn, but to celebrate the enduring legacy of the 𝐿𝐴𝐺. And his name echoes through ages. His life has been woven with threads of brilliance and sacrifice that serves as a beacon illuminating the plan towards freedom and national identity. Said Rizal, Mercado become impressive leaders in our country. His martyrdom is not an end. His voice, silenced by a bullet, therefore amplifying his message, is spread like wildfire, fire igniting a revolution that liberates his nation. He was the inspiration, the movement that led to the downfall of the Spanish colonial rule. His legacy, the beacon of hope during times of night. I have always loved you, my poor country, and I shall love you until death, as I put one famous line of the sun himself. This line at the bottom of my heart makes me go insane. Doesn't speak want justice for her children. Just commitment, education plus remarkable, his writings were call to action that inspired us Filipinos to seek knowledge and fight for our rights on education. Rizal is a prime example that we, Filipinos, we were not just an angel, but we can be an international citizen specializing in professional fields. Rizal once said, what is the use of independence when the slaves of today will be the tyrants of tomorrow? No doubt. Whoever submits to tyranny sure will love it. Rizal's unwavering dedication to his people solidified a legacy as Filipino nationalist unifying figure that inspired us Filipinos to fight for our rights of our nation. So, let us not remember him, Jose Rizal, as this historical figure. Instead, let us remember him, let us honor him by striving to emulate his commitment to truth, justice, and for the better of our nation. Let us carry his legacy forward, and not just as a relevant relic to the past. So, before I end my speech, let me share a simple yet astonishing quote from Dr. Rizal. And I quote, he who doesn't know how to look back from where he came from will never reach his destination. Mabuhay si Dr. Jose Rizal! Mabuhay ka, Norteños! Mabuhay Pilipinas!
Good afternoon, everyone. Fellow students, teachers, coaches, our reputable judges, and honored guests. He who does not look back where he came from will never get to his destination. It's a famous quote from our national hero, Jose Rizal Mercado y Alonso Tuzmanda. Jose Rizal, our national hero, is known for his exceptionally high IQ and brilliant ideas, which he used for a great reform. Indeed, knowing our past makes us more prepared for the future. Remembering our national hero, Jose Rizal, and looking back to his notable contributions, specifically his writings, No Limitang Lecz and El Filibusterismo, solidifies our zest for change. Change with challenges, development, and empowerment. I believe for Rizal, change stands for cooperation, hard work, ambition, and the gift of excellence. These traits run deep in the blood of 𝐴𝐶𝐵. The 𝐴𝐶𝐵 are intrinsically cooperative and hardworking. Our local officials are living examples of these values. Their goal of maintaining a safe community with a green and healthy ecosystem remains on top of their priorities. Let's speak of the youth of Camarines. Young people who idolize Rizal and advocate for human rights. They are ready to dedicate their time and use their talents. They push through their ambitions to live in a place where many are focused on self-improvement. These young entrepreneurs manifest Rizal's faith. The pen is mightier than the sword. Strive to prove that our province is more prominent in all aspects of life: education, culture, governance, and spirituality. Their engagement in several local and international competitions serves as daring proof that our province, that our skill enhancement is far better than mere confrontations and excessive use of power. For us, Camarines of today, Rizal is not a hero confined to the past. He is a hero present in our classrooms, in our streets, in our hearts. His life and works challenge us to be better citizens, to be better leaders. We turn to the wisdom of Rizal to be more productive, physically, mentally, socially, and spiritually. In so doing, we honor his legacy and build the future he dreams of. The future for 𝐿𝐴𝐺 and its people who are free-spirited, yet humble, empowered and united. Change depends on us, Camarines. Let's embrace it and work for it. Forward, 𝐿𝐴𝐺. Forward. Reach your dream destination. Thank you.
May we request everyone, no clapping of hands po after the performance. Thank you so much.
I am the right Christian. I am writing a book. This will be David's burden of books. Work my whole life. With the other, the generation which interprets this practice, the educated generation, they will understand these. Not all were asleep in the nighttime of our practice. As we can send and acquire, we are losing since we're not and then brothers and sisters, seeking the right foot, fractures against faith, breaking the silence. Imagine the weight of his thoughts as he was sold to the narratives that now echo across generations. Be determined, innocent sense, amazing, vivid picture, shocked with heritage, yet yearning for me. His honors and mercies are good stories that reveal the true depth and the suffering understand. With his courage and Rizal would be happy to see the younger generation utterly different to the world around them. Where are the youth he wants serve your rights and for what is just, not to chase crowd or obsess over fleeting trends. Imagine passionate ones these days. Engage in heated debates about elections. The air happens with tension as offensive arguments and curses fly back and forth. The polls illuminates their faces, yet the conversation spirals. This is not a place Rizal envisioned for us. We must foster a culture of unity, where elections become a symbol of collaboration, not division, where discourse leads to understanding, not conflict. It's time we honor his vision, not just in words, but in action. Let us become the hope he once saw in us, building a nation bound by purpose, not discord. The future I am deeply disappointed with the current state of the Philippines. It reflects the success that allowed some of us during the 2020 elections. I cannot fathom supporting a politician who sources unexpected late-night tantrums online under the guise of senators. Transparency is essential to good governance. Yes, it really is. But if one truly possesses wisdom and responsibility, to express their and concerns more readily. You are a leader, not strong, chasing overnight fame, views, likes, and subscriptions gained from reckless musicians and theatrics. Speaking of transparency, let us not go some of today's leaders turned against one another, exposing the truth, like being close that have seen better days. They can't fool us with shallow performances or hidden agendas. We see silent, and we deserve better from those entrusted with our nation's future. I live in the very heart of the yet the whispers of what transpired have already featured. It's just a month ago when Typhoon Christine ravaged the entire region. I was helplessly waiting for the storm to pass. Despite my burning desire to volunteer and operate, my parents, feeling I say, insisted I was too young for such acts of service. But mark my words, one day I will rise to serve. As blood waters rose and rise for shelter, I found myself endlessly refreshing on social media, desperate for updates on whether those suffering had finally been rescued. My heart is filled with admiration for the unsung heroes, those individuals driven by compassion, not motivated, who took swift action without some of their well-respected positions paraded themselves through the floodwaters, turning the disaster into a stage for their own satisfaction. Their actions streamed of self-interest, not service. This is not leadership. This is a shameful display of individuals who wear the title but are more concerned with their own optics than the true needs of their people. I think this is the best and right. That if we want we should strive to become a hero, not just in words, but more so in action. If we are a citizen of this country, be a hero who unites people, not one who causes division. A hero who inspires many musicians, and a hero who can inspire others to become a hero. Just as the thought was it, saw change must embrace change to become heroes for our community. Laulaan's courage to challenge the status quo reminds us that true heroes rise themselves to the world. By following his examples, we can bless music, a saint, and a stronger Camarines story. One that stands for progress, unity, and justice. Always remember that to foretell the future is very difficult, but to have a past is a very good way to understand the present and that the legacy of Rizal lives on. Corruption, human rights violation, economic issues, Filipinos sussing their own kababayans. Now tell me, is this the future that 𝐂𝐨 Rizal fought for? Is this the future that 𝐂𝐨 Rizal wanted his country for? Is this the future that 𝐂𝐨 Rizal died for? These are some of the questions that I've been wanting my whole life to be answered. Today is another day of history, a day of traveling back to the past of our dearest country. 11 months down to 2024, 6 typhoons massively affected the provinces of the Philippines. Government officials being charged with cases and crimes. These are the issues the Philippines has been dealing with and has affected the Filipinos. To foretell the destiny of the nation, it is necessary to open a book that tells about their past. For over 333 years before, the Spanish colonial rule began in the Philippines. The whole country was in turmoil. Filipinos suffering, abused, and killed under the hands of these filthy colonizers. In the present time, we have been awakened and exposed to news, victims, and issues about such crimes and cases. Let me ask you again, is this the future that 𝐂𝐨 Rizal died for? There is only one answer. The Bagong Bayani ng Norteño. It is us, the youth, the young generation. Bella Esperanza de la Patria Mía. You are the fair hope of my motherland. A light and power and a Juventud Filipino. What can us young people do? We have the talents, we have the strengths, and we are capable. Ang kabataan, ang pag-asa ng bayan. Ngunit sino ang pag-asa ng mga kabataan? Who is it that will make the youth move forward to excellence and greatness? It is the people behind them. Parents in their homes, teachers teaching them the right knowledge, right values. It's the government who's capable of influencing the young generation. You, me, are we going to fit in with this society, yielding for authority, fame, and titles? Living in this society, we've been accustomed to follow trends. Are these trends for the lives of the people who were abused and kept on punishing themselves for the sake of fitting in? This calls for a change, a new beginning. Let us not let history repeat itself. Let us be the Rizal of today and of the future. A man who once fought for the sake of the country's freedom. Use the sharpest tool of knowledge and the sharpest sword for fighting. A patriot, a physician, a model of undying love for his country, and the Philippine national hero. Jose Rizal Mercado y Alonso Rialonga, man of ideas and idea of the country. El amor patrio, love of country, Rizal's first ever publication, where he expressed his nationalism and deepest gratitude for the Philippines. Wrote a novel non-itakere, touching on the thoughts of a dark place during the Spanish colonial war. Then published a sequel to his first novel, El Filibusterismo, The Reign of Greed, dedicated to Greek priests, Gomez, Burgos, and Zamora, and hardships during the Spanish war. Rizal was never afraid because he knew that the Philippines needs him. Rizal was exiled to an island in Manila, and was publicly executed on the 30th day of December, 1886. A heartbreaking and traumatizing moment for the Filipinos, which gave more flame to the Filipinos to fight for their own freedom and rights. Rizal believed the power of knowledge, the power of education, and how powerful a language is. Now, this calls for a new beginning. It is our time to do our part as ₿ new generation of heroes. Let's take action. As we celebrate the 120th anniversary of the first ever monument of Jose Rizal built in our hometown, 𝐴𝐶𝐭𝐸, let this be an opportunity to testify the value of 𝐴𝐶𝐭𝐸. Hero wisdom runs in our blood. Let us continue on embarking the honor of our hero, Jose Rizal. So if you're ever wondering, you can be your own hero. You can just be like Rizal. Being aware of the issues today, having knowledge about the history, breaking cycles, and being a man of action, you can be a hero. I am standing here, being a bagong bayani ng 𝐴𝐶𝐭𝐸. I am a hero. Speaking in front of you, telling you to take action and change, that I am being like Rizal, just like what I've always wanted. Just like Rizal's monument, let us be the living tide of hope and peace, being strong, firm, and unbreakable through the tough times. You can kill a man, but you can kill an idea. Let us not let challenges hinder us. Now is the time for action. Let us raise our flags up high and carry Portuguese. At this point, what can you do for the country? Are you being a hero who's willing to give up his life for the Philippines? Or isa ka lamang mangmang na walang pakialam sa kinabukasan ng ating bayan? This coward doesn't care for his country. Just like Rizal's stories, never shine and carry lights were never weak. They never let anything or anyone turn the flame off, hoping and fighting. My time may have ended at this moment, but this also marks the beginning of me taking action, embodying the new 𝐴𝐶𝐭𝐸 heroes. 𝐴𝐶𝐭𝐸, it's finished. Good day to my fellow Congregants, wonderful students, respected teachers, and honored guests. I am standing right in front of you, not only as a simple and extraordinary student, but as one among those who are inspired by an amazing hero.
sacrificed his own life for us, our country, and our rights. Dr. Jose Rizal. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly look around. Can you see how it is really done? How we can live our best lives without being scared and pitying ourselves due to a lack of human rights? We can now use our voices to speak bravely, showing how proud we are to be a Filipino, a counter-feminist, as a person who is no longer a puppet of anyone else, following orders against our will. We can make our decisions. We govern ourselves and create our own rules. We can boldly say that this is because of Dr. Jose Rizal's patriotism and sacrifice. Living in Camarines Province has shown me that hoping for a better change is never wrong. The undying hope in the hearts of every Filipino is enough evidence that nothing is impossible. We all have the right to stand for what we want and go out for what we dislike. Dr. Jose Rizal is brilliant, brave, hardworking, and most importantly, knows his own goals. We once live in a country full of injustice and cruelty, without anyone showing kindness toward us. Fortunately, Rizal proved that we could still hope for a better change and a brighter future. With his stand, ideas, and a dying love for our country, he never gave up on achieving peace. He awakened a sleeping nation and revived the alive in our hearts. Monica Tangere and Anthony's Personal are among the unforgettable masterpieces of his time. Especially Anthony's Personal, which reflects the tragic era of Spanish rule in the Philippines. Additionally, the monument of Rizal in Daet serve as proof of the important role Rizal played in our lives. It also reminds us that as long as we are breathing and alive, we can always make a step to continue the legacy of Rizal. I truly believe that we, our parents, have the power to prevent the cruelty our ancestors experienced. With our determination and perseverance, we can be the heroes of the next generation. Each of us has many purposes in this world, and I believe one of them is to make a stand on the right path. Now, I ask, do you see yourself as a hero who protects his fellow Filipinos and strives for our country's peace? Or a villain who allows history to repeat itself? When the time came for him to choose, Rizal fought without any order. He did not hesitate to run or save himself from the bullets. He bravely stands tall with his head held high. He reminds himself that his last breath will be for us and our country. The moment his life was declared finished, a new identity was raised. A beginning that every Filipino hoped for. A beginning that depends on our hands now. His purpose had already been fulfilled, and that was more than enough. Standing here, I am proud of what Rizal wanting to achieve what is the best for us in our country is not arbitrary decision. It proved that we have countless chances and opportunities to fight for what we really want and deserve. With our skills, ideas, and undying hope, nothing is impossible. If we celebrate today, without a doubt, you will look upon us here. Now, I ask you, please understand as a girl of our country, because I definitely see you as one. As we honor the first century Rizal, let's promise to continue what we have started. Let's continue to strive for a better change.
Our national hero fell to the ground. He has accomplished numerous feats, not just inspiring Filipinos, but also subduing the pride and ego of the abusive parents. Noong first vocation, ang kabataan ay ang pag-asa ng bayan, mas Rizal has each displayed the lives of everyone. Planting a seed of hope, inspiring all to invest in our children as our future that it depends on. Now that we once again commemorate the patriotism of our national hero, we're reflecting and dare to ask, are we still the hope for our motherland? With the status quo of the educational system in the Philippines, it is questionable to claim a big yes. Stricken by majors of political issues that directly affects the implementations of policies, not just in our schools, but in our society as a whole, it is no longer easy to say that this statement bears the same amount of significance as it did before. Corruption, inflation, calamities, and insurgencies. These was greatly contributed in molding the kind of youth we have today. Everyone is a product of their environment. Whether we admit it or not, it shapes us in who we are today, the kind of people we have. Examining the current state of our country, in my opinion, now is not the high time for new set. For a new generation of children. Why? Because we still have to fix what's broken with the youth today. And there are so many aspects in our society that we must change before we can inculcate the desire to become better among us. The children of this nation. No matter how big or how small, anything of focus with regard to this badly damaged system, it is significant to be looked back into life's result in order to find inspiration that may spark our desire to see better. Sir Rizal was also born in an era of misjustice and oppression. At a young age, he was awakened by the cruelty of his parents and saw a number of irregularities present in our society. Like how Indos were deprived of education, how they were forced to work in quality servicio, and how women were treated as mere beings next to men. But the one that made the most striking impact in the mind of our young hero was the execution and mutiny of the treaty by Daet priests, who were punished for a crime they didn't even commit. This led Rizal to plant the seed of questions and enlightenment, which has led them to ask these questions. Why does this cruelty have to exist? Why is there no equality? Who permitted this to happen? Although it might seem ironic, but these cruelties inspired Sir Rizal to become a better person. He studied so hard and hopes to bring change to our country that's been dumped in darkness. Using his arguments the contributors were giving were not just problematic, but were also horrifying. Knowing this, Rizal did not grab his sword, though he was still defended. Instead, under the rack, he grabbed and upon the king with a clean sheet of paper. He began writing down novel terms. Never would have thought that these novels would end up costing his life and provoke Filipinos to seek liberty, which has been a crime for over 300 years. Truly, both Brother Martyrdom and El Filibusterismo served as a match. They ignited the flames in Filipinos' hearts, provoking them to seek liberty. It was also the same match that set his Rizal on fire, making him attract Spanish priests and officials. Yet his life was never gone to waste after his death. He was able to inspire many Filipinos to do the same, to give up their lives in exchange for the freedom of their mother. After looking back and examining those lives, let's help me learn one lesson. Because every time is a perfect time to seek improvement and positive changes. And to answer my question before, with confidence, I say yes. Lead news are still the hope for our motherland. Looking back and examining the life of Rizal has inspired us to do the same. To dedicate everything we do with love, commitment, dedication, and most importantly, purpose to the better men. Now I challenge you, everyone in this room, to be like Rizal. Intelligent, brave, unfazed, yet humble enough to learn what has to be learned. We must find our strengths and use them for the common good. As progress for our society, we must be brave enough to cultivate these strengths in order to inspire other people to do the same. And as for our weaknesses, we must not be afraid. And as for our weaknesses, we must work hard in order to remedy them, to turn them into our strengths. Believe it or not, it is our weaknesses that keeps our feet on the ground, that keeps us humble despite numerous victories. As St. Augustine quoted, humility is the greatest virtue. This is why I'm encouraging everyone to remain humble, as it keeps us going and striving for growth and development, which is the main topic of today's event. As a youth of our beloved Camarines Norte, we must dedicate everything we can for a more environmentally, economically, and socially progressive progress. We must all be inspired by Rizal, who has given up everything he has so that others may live in peace. We'll not say that we should use ourselves as barricades in times of insurgency. What I'm saying is that we must do everything we can in order to keep our conglomerates and our communities in a manner that pleases the eyes of our people. Let us all be an emulation of who Rizal is, like tayo in our province. We must all stand tall, yet rooted to the ground. And in everything we do, let this quotation be the reason why we do it. Alay sa Diyos, alay. Now, for our panel of judges, the organizers of this event, who might vote for participants for our esteemed judges. Good afternoon.
my journey as a 15-year-old student leader and campus journalist. At this young age, I often ask myself, what does it mean to be the hope and the father? Honorable judges, esteemed guests, fellow students and friends, a wonderful afternoon bursting with desire and a sincere hope to be heard and seen, as I am not just here to speak, but to inspire and to connect. Today, as we celebrate Rizal, ang bayan ng pagbabago, I stand before you as a young Filipino, inspired by his ideals and determined to make a difference for my school, my community, and our province, 𝐿𝐵𝐚𝐿 Norte. Being a campus journalist has opened my eyes to the struggles around us. I have written about the lack of resources, the unequal opportunities in education, and the silencing of those who dare to speak against corruption. At times, I feel overwhelmed, wondering if I can truly make a difference. But then, I think of that. He too faced challenges much greater than himself. Armed only with his pen, he stood against the powerful judges, exposing corruption and corruption through his writings in La Solidaridad and his novels 𝐿𝐵𝐚𝐿 and 𝐿𝐵𝐴. His courage reminds me that even in the face of adversity, one voice can inspire a nation. As a student leader, I see the power of unity to bring about change. From leading school projects to advocating for students' rights, I realize that small acts, when done with purpose, can create ripples of transformation. Rizal showed us this truth through his work in the 𝐵𝐴. Even in exile, he built a school, a hospital, and a water system, proving that leadership is rooted in service. Rizal's dedication to uplifting his community reminds me of the tagline for provincial leader, Governor Dong Padilla, "Alay sa Diyos, alay sa bayan." This commitment to serving God and country reflects Rizal's values and inspires us to serve selflessly. Yet, the challenges we face today are no less daunting than those Rizal provided. Corruption, inequality, and threats to our sovereignty continue to plague our nation. The alleged misuse of public funds, resources meant to uplift the lives of Filipinos, which shrouded in secrecy and suspicion, coupled with a relentless coercion of the Chinese government, undermining our vital claims over the West Philippine Sea, reflect what Rizal once described as a double-faced dogma. We believe that the way to defeat such adversities lay in education and preserving our national identity. As a student journalist, I am inspired by Rizal's unwavering faith in the transformative power of knowledge. I strive to inform, empower, and awaken my fellow youth, knowing that unenlightened and united generation can lead the charge for meaningful change. Rizal's poem, "To the Philippines," is a powerful reminder of our role in shaping the nation. He called on us to use our talents not for personal gain, but for the betterment of our country. As a writer, I use my words to inspire others, to spark conversations, and to advocate for change. Rizal's faithfulness pushes me to be better, not just for myself, but for our community and our nation. Here in 𝐿𝐵𝐴 Norte, we honor Rizal as a national hero and a symbol of transformation. As a bayani ng 𝐎𝐵𝐴 Norteño, his legacy challenges us to confront the issues of our time. How do we respond to corruption, the erosion of human rights, and the loss of national pride? Rizal's life teaches us that the answer lies in courage, unity, and service. To my fellow youth, let us not forget Rizal's sacrifice. He gave his life believing that we, the young, can carry the social hope for the nation. Let us prove that his faithfulness was not misplaced. Let us rise with apathy and fear. Let us lead with integrity, speak truthfully, and act purposely. As I close, I echo Rizal's immortal words. La juventud es la esperanza de la patria. We are that hope. Together, let us honor Rizal's legacy by becoming the change makers he believed us to be. Let us create a brighter future for 𝐂𝐨𝐧𝐭𝐞𝐬𝐭 and the entire Philippines. Mabuhay si Rizal! Mabuhay ang kabataan! Mabuhay ang bagong Pilipinas! 𝐂𝐨𝐧𝐭𝐞𝐬𝐭! It is finished. Silent tears and utter desperate prayers of 𝐂𝐨𝐧𝐭𝐞𝐬𝐭. I hope how an episode of a virtuous man's shredded body, sacrificed for the welfare of his people. How he lived with graciousness and soul comfort heart. These are one of those questions, especially of a great sense. My wondering thoughts, an ordinary girl, 𝐂𝐶𝐚𝐿, holds the blood of our hero, 𝐂𝐶𝐚𝐿. I might not be his descendant to acquire his bravery, but I carry the torch of his wisdom. I was not delivered into this world just to be defeated, for he is my hero, our hero. To our board members, to my fellow contenders, friends, visitors, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Good afternoon. I stand before you to speak for what my knowledge has found. The present and even the future generations endeavor. Can we sustain the blood of 𝐂𝐶𝐚𝐿 and let it run through the veins of my fellow people? His cries echo to our youth. For we are stand in the victory and peace that he gave his life for. But where is this freedom? Are you at peace right now? Do you agonize as he is, as fellow people? I might be young at heart, but I will not be silenced if someone threatens our peace. Tag this victory, tag this seat of democracy. I, you, all of us should take a root and sprout the world. We should rejoice and shout, for indeed we are living. However, people, can't you see the pictures of our motherland in reality? For she is chained. Her hands are those of poverty and inequality. Her tears are those of injustice and human rights violations. Our eyes are blinded by the media and social network sites. My heart breaks as I see some sons point their guns at each other. Some daughters slaving their ways in foreign lands just to earn food, just to earn money for their families. Is this freedom? Is this the value of 𝐂𝐶𝐚𝐿's blood? We are free to do what we want without limits. We are free to say what we want without fear of incrimination. The struggle of our ancestors had. The thoughts that surround him was always contained of memories of meaningful virtues that he
of Hortensia. As Dr. Rizal once told me, he doesn't know how to live back where he came from will never have his destiny. To win our dreams in the future, we must have a great understanding of the past. We can never change what the past has made, but these can be lessons we can reflect. I come from the province of Rizal, another soul that exhibited heroism. Camarines Norte is a cradle of legends. I hope we will be proud. Let me ask you, where is our vision? Do you feel peace? For I still see peace everywhere. Cliche as it may sound, but the history is tough. And the world today is similar to how it used to be during our national story. Maybe different circumstances, different enemies, but the same values. To this team panel, co-contestants, fellow government legends, friends, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant afternoon. We now live in a world characterized by a myriad of perplexed interface of technological advancements, where people's values shift, a threat for historical revisionism, territorial disputes, and even political chaos are the subject. But still, there remains an unwavering and global pursuit. Dr. 𝐂𝐨𝐬𝐿𝐴, an embodiment of idealism, sacrifice and service for the welfare of his country. Wouldn't you agree with me if I said that he is a testament worthy of every government citizen? Rizal is a man of instinct, whose thirst for knowledge is unparalleled, an advocate for causes, a visionary, and a catalyst of reform and change. As part of Gen Z, the student of today, how can I emulate the heroism of our national hero, Dr. 𝐂𝐨𝐿𝐴, whose legacy as catalyst for change is unsurmountable? I am here today, beaming with pride and honor as I talk about Pepe, whose life, writings, and actions mark an indelible link in our history. Our national hero is a man of influence. At a very young age, he won literary competitions. He is fluent in different languages. His quest for knowledge is admirable. That he even went abroad to broaden his horizons, for he knew that education has a pivotal role in liberating our ancestors from the tyranny of the Spanish colonization. I also believe in the power of education. That it is saddening to witness my fellow disregard the value of education. We can transform our nation if we find within ourselves the teachings and insights that we gain from our school, from experiences we encounter in people of all walks of life. I, myself, knew the power of education, that despite academic struggles that I experienced, I still push myself to acquire the quality education that each of us deserves. It's because I identical results of people. I also believe that education will free us from our ignorance and to make us act to the true definition of an educated man. It will also be our tool to succeed and make us aware of what's happening in our society.
for better treatment of the people, equal rights, freedom of speech, and educational opportunities, among others. Rizal's clamor for reform and change is brought by his immense love for fellow Filipinos. He believed that our country can stand on its own, that the Filipinos, whom the Spaniards called Indio, would stand on its own and capable of governing themselves. In relation to our generation, you may see me as a student, but I can also be an advocate for change, like our national hero. Since most of the students are invested in social media, I can use this platform to engage my fellows in constructive conversations, and not to spread hate and cancel them. I can encourage them to foster a culture of empathy, respect and understanding, rather than cancel culture, pornography and exploitation. By stepping into the literary world, we can be critical of the injustices in our society. Thus, justice being pursued collectively. And most importantly, Rizal is a visionary. He did not lead an army of soldiers, nor his swords in battle, but his ideas ignited a flame of patriotism and national awakening in the hearts of the Filipinos. In his own words, he said, "I did not write for this generation. I am writing for our ages. If this could be, they would burn my books, the work of my whole life." On the other hand, the generation which interprets his writings will be an educated generation. They will understand and say, "Not all were asleep during the night of our grandparents." True enough, we belong to this generation who interprets his writings. I am part of that generation who saw the injustices faced by our ancestors during their time. And I still see the same injustices encountered by my fellow Filipinos during this time. I believe that when we voice out these injustices, we can hold these oppressors accountable for their actions. His ideals and death will not go to waste, for we will use them to transform our society and continue to shape the values and aspirations for Filipino generations to come. Rizal's life only proved that our call and cry for hope does not always come by force. As a new generation to come with Senyo, we have the power of ideas, our pursuit of quality education, and the courage to be the voice of the marginalized, the poor and oppressed, to raise awareness against injustices in our government and society. I can be that voice, and together we will rise for greater and better 𝐭𝐨𝐽 Norte. Oh, my brows to be, O youth, where now you stand, let the rising of your grace be seen. Fair hope of my heart to them, out now thou keepest grand, and bring thou restoration with thy mighty hand. Swiftly the winds violation, raise the eager mind to higher station. Who is this man behind these powerful words? What kind of person will inspire and generations with just a pen? What kind of person could defend a country using a pen, guns, and swords? To our distinguished members of the Board of Judges, to my fellow contenders, dear teachers and friends, a pleasant afternoon. I am pleased and deeply honored to stand before you today. Truly, I am privileged to be here as a gather and celebrate the 120th anniversary of Dr. 𝐂𝐨𝐵 and the 126th anniversary of Rizal's first monuments with the theme, 𝐂𝐨𝐧𝐭𝐞𝐬𝐭, Bayani ng Pagbabago, Bayani ng Bagong Kamiltenyos. Allow me to take this moment to introduce myself. I am an officer of our brave heroes. I your head. I am a Filipino. I am inspired by the remarkable words of our Philippine national hero. The excerpt is taken from To the Filipino Youth or Sa Kabataang Pilipino, a poem written by Dr. Rizal. The phrase, "mighty hands that turn the winds violation," simply implies that the youth have the ability to make things fast and efficiently. Likewise, it symbolizes our national heroes' strong belief in the great power and ability of the youth. Notably, those words are deeply rooted and reflected in his life and his deeds. Let me give you a brief background of Dr. Rizal, Mercado y Alonso Rialonga, or simply Dr. Rizal. Our national hero was born in Calamba, Laguna on July 1861. He was a great writer, novelist, doctor, poet, and engineer. He was not only known for his brilliance, intelligence, and bravery, but also for his profound love for our country, his patriotism. When I was in elementary, I often saw his portrait in front of the classroom walls, displayed along with the other national heroes of the Philippines. I am not a history lover back then. All I knew was that he was a hero. I was a foolish child, but all I can clearly remember was a simple story that he wrote. Do you want to hear that story? Well, I bet you all know the moth and the flea, or ang gamo-gamo at ang apo. Apo, well, a story or a tale of a moth that despite the mother's warning and protection, the little moth continuously flew towards the play. The closer it got, the more it left words. Tragic, isn't it? The little moth died because it was determined to reach the light. From that, I learned the virtue of obedience to parents. It's crucial to listen to the wisdom and guidance of the elderly, especially our parents. As I grew older, however, that simple story revealed a powerful lesson behind it. Yes, the story of the little moth was gloomy. Little did I know the satisfaction of the moth upon reaching it. The moth told us that perseverance and sacrifice in pursuit of the light, in pursuit of something greater, are greatest worth embracing. The moth is like our heroes. They face difficulties, risks, and threats, and they can sacrifice their lives in the quest of the light. Dr. Rizal was like the moth in the story that he himself had written. He was driven by his desire to reach the lights. Notwithstanding challenges, he still persevered. Just like the moth, he died in the quest of the lights. Ladies and gentlemen, that light illuminated the path for his fellow countrymen. He inspired the nation to fight for freedom and change. He revealed to us the meaning of being a hero. His words and actions showed us that heroism is not merely about fighting battles. It is not in looking for war for which Japan is going to win, but it is rising up and standing against injustice, inequality, and oppression. His legacy is a testament to the power of peaceful resistance and profound impact on the heroism is standing up to what's right, even when the price is high. Eventually, his ideas serves as instruments of change. It laid the foundation for a significant revolution in the Philippine reforms. He sparked autonomy among us Filipinos that later led to the formation of the Philippine Republic, and it was made official with the Philippine Independence Act of 1946. Not only that, his devotion and love for his country continued determination to reach the light has encouraged and inspired not only the Filipinos but also the people across the world. Even today, ladies and gentlemen, especially to my fellow youth and academic peers, let us study hard and harness brilliance to drive meaningful change in our country. May we always be reminded of the hardships of our ancestors who paved the way for our liberty. To my fellow countrymen, just like Dr. 𝐂𝐨𝐧𝐭𝐞𝐬𝐭, let us be the catalyst of innovation to strengthen our country. Let us always ensure that the light that He was kindled continues to shine brightly. Let us always cherish this liberty while remaining vigilant guarding our own land. As I conclude my speech today, I hope that we take inspiration from Rizal's courage and dedication to peace. Together, let us enjoy and honor our heart and freedom, protect our rights, protect one another, and protect our motherland. Laban, Kaluteños! Let us strive for a better future, united in purpose, united in words and actions. Thank you.
I died without seeing the dawn brighten over remaining land. You will see it, welcome it, and forget not those who have fallen during the night. This was Rizal's sign aiming for hope and a brighter future for his land through initiative and effort of his people, challenging generation to be a brave soldier for change. This has made me awake as a young student to have a heart and commitment in a continuous transformation, innovation, resiliency, and unity for the unwavering progress of our colonial story. Our distinguished guests, world builders, coaches, and my co-participants, and blessed up. Looking back at the time, Camarines Norte is primarily an agricultural province. Its people depended on farming, fishing, and small-scale mining for livelihood. Like other provinces, we face many challenges like access to education, social and health services, particularly to our indigenous. Road to markets for selling agricultural products, communication and transportation, employment, politics and corruption, which was formerly on the tables. However, those struggles are always in good fight. We did not stop to continue to search and reach the goal for progress. Be resilient when there are calamities. We face them with courage and strength. Rise up and praise to God for help. Luckily, our place is blessed with rich natural resources and a strong cultural tradition made us a developing province in the region. This is what Dr. 𝐂𝐨𝐴𝐳 did. He played a major part in our country's battle for reforms and independence. He used his powerful link from his writing, two classic novels, 𝐂𝐸𝐴 and 𝐿 showed us how much Rizal cared for our country's culture. Oftentimes, I think, what if Jose Rizal's pen never touched me? Well, imagine our province without its revolutionary spirit. We found another hero who will ignite the flame for transformation and will fight for success. That is why I am immensely proud to belong to a province that holds the honor of having the very first monument dedicated to Dr. 𝐂𝐨𝐴𝐳, a symbol of our strong commitment to preserving his legacy and inspiring future generations. Before anything else, let me ask you, do you remember Rizal? Who was a selfless, well-rounded, talented, thinking person that said that the youth is the hope of the future? In this, we believe in a transformative power of the young generation to share about positive change and shape a better future. These times, I emphasize the importance of education, moral uprightness, and a sense of national enabling the youth to lead the country toward progress and development. Is that all? Because you belong to Generation Z, or your mind is occupied with those trends on social media, or your mind is spent with accessible information about our current issues. If you read the engagement, now it is our time to be a part of our place to continue its transformation into a progressive and Rizal style calling it peaceful reforms. Rise up our place to a modernized and industrialized place where everyone has happy smiles on their faces because of safe lives and comfort. We can make advocacies and campaign calling communities to be more innovative in doing such projects. Initiative in our social and culture through the use of social media. Showcase the unique attraction of our province through TikTok or blogs, word of mouth, or organized event that will attract visitors, that will boost our local businesses and increase economic growth. We can join and improve our old traditional bayanihan in different ways that will motivate others who are feeling to start a single purpose. And our action not only contribute to the development of our province, but also instill the sense of responsibility and pride. Instead of doing things and being a wife for the city, or as Felicia, it work for us. Let us use the gift of education in order to overcome ignorance that causes slavery as well as poverty. Having the right education cannot only leave us from darkness, it also help us our health crisis, financial crisis, and change our life in the process. This is what I want. A living result of our times, fighting for transformation and unifying progress. Thus, realizing the ongoing transformation, innovation, resiliency, and 𝐿𝐴𝐚𝐿, let us embrace our roles as stewards of change. Together, our combined effort can ensure a brighter future and more prosperous future. Let us move as one, warm hand, banded each other. Then if the face is great, we can get the best. 𝐂𝐨𝐧𝐭𝐞𝐬𝐭, the gateway of Nicolanta, Urago!
Ayan, so sorry po medyo natagalan yung pagtadali namin sa likod kasi ang dami po talagang nag-tie actually. Pero ito na po. So i-announce na namin ngayong hapon ang ating winner for this year's oratorical competition. So, okay. Okay, so let me announce to you the third placer. Okay. Our third placer is contestant number 7, Davao Science and Technology High School. Okay, congratulations po. And then, for our second placer, is contestant number Congratulations po! And now, may we call on the first placer for this year's oratorical competition. So alam ko pong ready na ang lahat na marinig kung sino ba talaga ang nagwagi sa hapong ito. So now, tawagin na natin. Okay, so the winner will receive $3,000 pesos with medal and certificate. Okay? So now, our first placer is contestant number 11. Our first placer for this year's oratorical competition is Rizal National High School. Congratulations po!
Maraming salamat po. Ang kailangan na po natin yung mga winners, magpa-picture po with the judges. Kasi kailangan po namin sa liquidation and documentation. Sa accounting po yan, mayayari kami.